All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? How are y'all doing out tonight? Somebody just messaged me and said there's no sound. Can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? No. Let me know if you can't hear me. Testing 1, 2, 3. So that wasn't working before? So that's weird. I have no idea why that wasn't working. Okay. All right, it's fixed. That's good to hear. All right, guys. Oh, small crowd tonight. We got to fix that. I'm going to go ahead right now and share the link to this on the Clarence Woods Emerson page. Let people know we are live. Let's see. All right. So I've shared the link over there. I'm also going to share it on the Uncle Turtleboy Aidan Kearney page. Go ahead and give both those pages a like, and we'll be good. I'm also going to go ahead and share it on the, Twitter, on the Twitter machine. Sorry, I'm a little out of it tonight. You can go ahead and share it on the Twitter machine. I am on Twitter. I've been back on Twitter for about a month after getting banned for life again. I figured a way around it. All you got to do is just use a different browser. So I'm using Firefox. I don't know if anybody even uses Firefox anymore, but I use it strictly for the purpose of evading Twitter bans. So we'll see how long this one lasts. The last one lasted like 4 months on Safari. After that, I don't know if to use Opera or something. I don't even know what other ones are out there. So, okie dokie, guys. Also, yeah, so I'm not using a green screen tonight. So here's the thing. I got all these shirts in, right? Get these shirts are in the store. Get you some of these shirts. These things are awesome. And this one I have a blue screen and a green screen. Well, as you can see, this shirt is both blue and green. So it's problematic. So I can't use a green screen. So we're going to old basement style. How do you get around the phone number requirement? You don't. You just need an email. You need an email. And I have had a situation where I had to do a verify with a phone number, and I just tell somebody, I'm like, hey, can I use your phone number? And then I'm like, yeah, a text from Twitter. Just be like, yep, it's me. We're good. So you got to get around it that way. I can't use my phone. That's the only thing. I can't use my phone. I have to get a new phone number, which honestly, I should probably do anyway. It's been on my list of things to do for a long time because I get some weird ass messages, and they're not always pleasant. And when I say not always pleasant, I mean like never pleasant. Usually like threatening to kill me and shit. So yeah, I should probably like my phone number is out there at this point. Can't hide it. So it is what it is. Use the black one. I don't have a black one, jackass. So just have that. All right. Anyway, so let's get this party started, shall we? So I didn't know what I was going to do tonight. Here's the deal. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the content around here lately, the well is running dry, and it's been aggravating me big time. Usually I wake up in the morning and it takes me hours just to go through my inbox, hours. And that's not a problem I'm having lately. Nobody's sending stories in. I'm actually going and looking for the stories for the first time ever, which, I used to do back in the day. But now, it was to the point where I'm getting so many stories I couldn't do them all. Now it's like I'm looking for stories. I did a story today on something that I didn't get to 6 months ago. That's how fucking dry the well is running. So I don't know if the ratchets are just behaving better or if people are missing out on them. First of all, let's get the audience number 95. What the fuck is that? Share the shit out of this, guys, and smash that like button, will you? Smash that like button. So yeah, they're going. I don't know if they're in a lockdown or they're just behaving for the holidays. I don't know what they're doing, but so long story short, I didn't know going into the show. I'm like, what am I even going to talk about? I'm like, because I'm not even that excited about anything I've written this week, etc. So I did come up with something. Now, a lot of you guys know the Turtle Club that I've been talking about is going to be starting soon, and the Turtle Club is like a basically you can pay a certain amount of money per month, and you get a certain amount of things that other people don't get. One of those things is the history podcast, because a lot of people wanted to have me do like a history show podcast thing, and there's demand for that, so I might as well do it. So I figured out I'd do a dry run tonight. Now, before we begin that, let me just remind you guys that I don't have advertisers anymore. I don't do that because they're always getting attacked or whatever. It's just honestly easier to be, self-run, and nobody's under any obligation to donate or anything like that. But if you're feeling up for it, I'm going to go ahead and put the link right there. I do like to think I work hard. I like to earn your money. So if you do like to donate, feel free to do so there, and keep the turtle running. When your advertisers are free, they can't go after your advertisers. I don't know if you guys have seen this, what they're doing to Trump's people now. So, and that's what we're going to get into today because of this whole election stuff like that. I've taken a lot of shit from Turtle Riders, a couple posts I made that I want to address, etc. These assholes now. So Donald Trump is fighting this in court. That's his only hope, basically, at this point, is fighting it in court. And the Lincoln Project douchebags. I don't know if you guys know the Lincoln Project, but the Lincoln Project is basically it's a bunch of Republicans who like campaign for Jeb Bush and losers, like Republican losers, Mitt Romney, John McCain, people like that. They like to think that they're like this sophisticated brand of conservatism. They're not like Donald Trump. They don't grab women by the pussy. They don't, they're respectable, right? They're very respectable, like Mitt Romney, right? Wears tapered jeans and goes to the Iowa fair and isn't gonna, call, make fun of you, give you a name. They're respectable Republicans, aka they lose. That's what when you hear the word I'm like a respectable Republican, that means you're a fucking loser. Because there's no such thing as a respectable Democrat. They play to win, they play for keeps. And if you want to be a John McCain or Mitt Romney, there's a reason neither of those guys was ever president, because they're fucking losers. They're losers. So, what these Lincoln Project assholes have been doing, right? They raised hundreds of millions of dollars that they dumped into losing Senate campaigns. Like they went after like Republican senators, which doesn't make any sense either. Like I understand you don't like Trump, but why the fuck are you going after Republican senators too? Like they went after Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. They went after Susan Collins in Maine. They went after Yoni Ernst in Iowa. They went after these people. They dumped all this money into their opponents. And what did those people do? They all lost. Every single one of them lost. And what did the Lincoln Project do? They put out these fancy commercials, right? I'll show you the Lincoln Project dudes. You got to see these fucking assholes. Lincoln Project. Biggest fucking tool bags you've ever seen in your life. Let me see if I can find them. They're basically when you go back, and it's funny when you go back on their timeline too, on their old Twitter timeline. They here they are. Here's the assholes. I'll bring up the picture here. Yeah, these douchebags. Okay, Steve Schmidt, Rick Wilson, George Conway. This is what's his name's wife, Kellyanne's wife. I don't even know who this asshole is, but basically these are diehard Republicans their entire lives who are pretending they don't like Trump, and now they're like sabotaging the party. And they've made all these stupid commercials, right, that didn't really win anyone over. They didn't win anybody over. And all they did was just convince the base, right, that like people that weren't going to vote for Donald Trump anyway, like, yeah, I hate him even more now because you made a cool commercial about that. They didn't win a single fucking person over. They basically, it was one of the great grifts in American history. They basically just saw all these idiot liberals and like these people are willing to pay money to like, if we say orange man bad, they're willing to like throw money at us. And they did. They made a lot of fucking money off of this. And now AOC, my girl, who's fucking phenomenal. I'm starting to love this lady. She called them out and was basically like clapping back on Twitter. They didn't even do anything. They weren't grassroots. This was not won by the Lincoln Project. They are Republican con artists and blah, 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 blah. And she's absolutely right. This Donald Trump is not in the position he's in right now because of the Lincoln Project. He's in the position he's in right now for a number of reasons. And one of them, people are alleging, is voter fraud. But more than anything, it's high voter turnout. Like Joe Biden got 10 million more votes than Hillary Clinton did. That's the big reason why he got 75 million votes so far. Donald Trump's around 71 million. Those are the two highest vote totals in American history. Now, granted, when populations go up, it's going to go up with them. But my point here is you want AOC around. AOC is the fucking gift that keeps on giving. Trust me. And she's going to be here for a while. Ayanna Pressley, you want her around if you are a Republican. They're good for business. They make the party look bad. They promote radical things that will never get done, and they drive people more towards the right. It's a beautiful thing. So we like that. We like that. That's a positive development. Anyway, what the Lincoln Project's been doing, my whole point with this is they've been going after Trump's law firms. Trump hired a bunch of law firms to, file lawsuits to contest several of these elections in court. And they're doxing. The Lincoln Project has like 2 million followers on Twitter. They're putting names and phone numbers of individual attorneys who are literally doing their job. They're paid to fucking represent clients, who in this case is Donald Trump, and doxing them. So my point here is that, like, when you have advertisers like that, this is what the mob does in 2020. They go after the people who did not just want to conduct business as usual, but because they're associated with you, they get attacked. And, I fought this battle a million times. It is what it is. These people are relentless, and it's honestly easier if Turtle Riders just donate. So if you do donate, I'll refresh it periodically throughout the show. I don't do the super chats anymore because, let's be honest, I don't feel like giving Google 30% of my money. It's a huge ripoff. And we've already got a couple donos. Let me read them off. If you do donate, once again, and you put a funny message, you will get, whatever you want to read. I'll say it out loud, right? I'm like Anchorman. You put it on the screen, I'm going to say it, right? If you want to give out, say what up to your homie or whoever, your dog in C block, your baby mama, your ex, maybe she wants to get back with you. If you, give her a shout out on Turtle Boy Live, happy birthday to your mom, whoever. Okay. So Michelle says, don't ever stop shredding light on the insanity we've been going through for 8 months now. You're the only true news source available. Thank you. Oh, my pleasure, Michelle. Patty says, because I still believe in real journalism. Thank you, Patty. I'm here to make you believe. Cam Newton donates and says, I'm giving you the game ball from last night. Well, thank you, Cam. You had a great night last night. Finally. Good to see you back. Unfortunately, we were fucking around with the Jets. That doesn't bode well. I don't know, man. Patriots, I looked at their schedule today. They got Baltimore coming up. That's going to be interesting at home. And I'd like to point out, it's a night game. The game starts at 8:30. There's a curfew in this state now at 9:30. So what does that mean? Do all the players have to go home at night? Are they exempt from it? Because there's no fans in the stadium for some reason. But there will be, fans in there and other people in there that are not, like that work and stuff like that. The media members, do they have to go home too? Do they have to go home? I don't know. It seems kind of hypocritical if they're allowed to stay and no one else is. So if we somehow beat the Baltimore Ravens, which you never know, it could happen. We could beat the Baltimore Ravens. Why the fuck not? Shit happens. It's football. Then you're looking at a 4-5 team. They got coming up after that. They have some shit team. I forget who they have. They have the Houston Texans after that. Hey, you got the 5-5. Ooh, now we're talking. Then you got the Arizona Cardinals. You never know. We'll see. Maybe 6-5. Then they got an interesting situation there where we're going to Los Angeles twice. This never happened. This never happened before. Where we've had, because it's cyclical. You got the the Rams. You got every 4 years, and you get the Chargers every 3 years, and you got them both on the road this year. So you got Chargers on Sunday night, and then Rams on Thursday night. That Rams one is gonna be hard to win because it's on 4 days rest, and the Rams are kind of good. So hey, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll be 9-7. Maybe I think they could beat Buffalo when we play them again, and we got the Jets again and the Dolphins. Now that we suck, we usually choke against the Dolphins once a year, but we suck now. So maybe this is the year we don't lose to them twice, huh? How about that? Always thinking. God still loves us more. Don't forget that. Anyway, what I want to talk about tonight, guys, is the election. So I posted a thing on Facebook the other day, right, that got some people fired up at me. I posted a meme of, let me pull it up. I posted a meme of basically, and I'll show you all the shit I took for this, maybe rightfully so. I posted, where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, let me pull it up on my thing. All right, so I post this meme. We've all seen this meme before, right? Of this crazy round. When Donald Trump was inaugurated president. It's great. It's a great video. And basically my thing was, I'm like, I'm like, this is what I wrote. I said, this meme has made all the rounds over the last 4 years, and rightfully so. Just remember, fellow Trump voters, this could be you if you keep whining about the election. Was there fraud? I said maybe. I'm willing to say probably with that, like most likely. Was the entire COVID pandemic, quote unquote, just an excuse to hurt Trump? 100%. This whole fucking thing was just an excuse to get Trump out of office. That's all this shit was. It was bullshit from the beginning. Okay. It's a pussy virus. It gives you the sniffles, and we've shut down the world for it because we want to destroy Donald Trump. It's garbage. Was mail-in voting unnecessary and extremely shady? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's complete bullshit that I went to bed on election night at 3 a.m, and an hour later, all these votes came in. Donald Trump was up 15 in Pennsylvania, and now he's losing. Okay. Now, if those votes all came from Philadelphia and they were mail-in votes, then I guess it's believable that they're Democratic votes, right? But nobody oversaw the counting. Nobody double-checked to make sure the postmarks were right. Like, nobody's watching the counters. There's no oversight in this whatsoever. And so, yeah, so I said that, but it is what it is. And I compared it to the refs sucking. The refs cost us the 2015 AFC Championship game against Denver. I'll never forget how horribly officiated that game was, and the regular season game against Denver, in which we also got hosed. We were 10-0 going into that game, choked it up. And then in 2012 against the Ravens, we also got hosed by the refs in that game. They ended up winning the Super Bowl that year against the 49ers and Colin Kaepernick. And, you look back in those and you're like, well, we should have won more Super Bowls. But then you can go tuck rule, or, you can say other things. Sometimes in a close game, the best way to avoid getting fucked over by the refs is to win in a blowout. And Donald Trump should have won in a fucking blowout. And he could have won in a blowout if he didn't have the personality that he had. Like, he had all the prerequisites to dominate. All you had, like, the number one most important thing he had was a healthy economy. And he didn't declare war on anybody. That's all you had to do. Historically, you'll make people happy if the economy is good. But he's his own worst enemy. All the shit talking on Twitter didn't win anybody over. It hurt him, I'm sure, in many places. He's never going to win California, Massachusetts, Maryland, New York, stuff like that. But he should have easily won fucking Georgia. Okay. He should have increased his lead in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. He should have won Minnesota. He should have won Maine. He should win New Hampshire. These states should not be gone from the Republican Party forever, but alas. So a lot of people, and basically my whole thing was, I'm like, do you guys want to become a meme? Do you want to become a meme? Do you want to be this person that the left makes fun of? Because you got to understand something, okay? And this is going to be hard to swallow. Like, most likely what's going to happen here is, like, in 2 months, Joe Biden is going to be the president of the United States, okay? It's going to suck. It's going to fucking suck. And most likely that is what is going to happen. I say most likely because none of this is certified yet. The election has been called, and that was my whole point with this, was not to, like, say that, well, it's over and you can't, nowhere in here did I say, like, Trump should not fight this in court, right? Or whatever. My point about this is that this is all outside of our control. None of us have the ability. All of our whining on Facebook about fraud, because people keep sending me videos, right? Of, oh, you got to see this video, is undercover video of, they got a poll worker admitting that, she didn't throw out a Trump ballot, or, check out this video, or check out this affidavit. And that's wonderful and all. But he lost by 150,000 votes in Michigan. So you're going to need more than that. You need a lot more than that. And you're going to have to convince a judge of that, which is very hard to do. Because the other side's going to have lawyers too. And they're going to bring up past precedent. It's going to be a big shit show. So all these people, this meme, the thing I put up there was like a reaction to that. It's like, you better be ready, okay? Because most likely, Donald Trump is not going to win. I hope he fights this all. I hope he wins. I hope that all his promises of having evidence of widespread voter fraud is not just theatrics, okay? Because he hasn't shown any yet. I mean, he's shown some, but not enough to get this election overturned. So, like, I'm like looking at this. People are really mad. Like, it's crazy you've accepted defeat. Where the fuck did I accept defeat? What I said was basically like, if he loses and you act like this, which it looks like he's going to do, You can't act like this. You're going to look ridiculous. Don't become a meme. The actual refs are in the Supreme Court. If it gets there, it's going to be 2000 all over again. Well, we're going to talk about that tonight. Some of the history of this all. Okay. And so, like, some of these people, like, they're all mad at me. They're like, people like what did somebody said? Somebody said to me, like, we've always had your back. What did this woman say to me? She said, like, I couldn't believe what she said to me. She's like, we've always had your back, Turtle Boy, and now you're turning your back on us. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm just saying that, like, just be prepared to lose. And if we lose, don't cry about it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Even if there is fraud, don't cry about it, because you don't want to be the person who cries, because then you get made fun of. Okay. Don't become a left-wing meme. That's all I'm saying. So there has been situations in the past that I want to talk about tonight, because I'm a history teacher, and this is what the Turtle Club is largely going to be about, right? That'll be one of the options of is a once a week history podcast. So I want to talk about tonight, has this ever happened before? And the answer is yes, this has happened before. And we're going to talk about a couple of those elections right now. All right. So the first one up is 1876. Let me show you this electoral map, guys. This is Darcy Bowles. Let me pull it up right now. You guys see that? All right, cool. So this is the election of 1876. There was two candidates in this election. You got Rutherford B. Hayes from Ohio. Now, it's 1876, so this is about 10 years after the Civil War. It's important to understand the historical context here. Lincoln dies in 1865 when the Civil War ends. The Republican, the northern states, they're almost all Republican. The southern states are going to be Democrat. However, after 1867 rolls around, the northern states and Congress in general is run by these radical Republicans. And by radical Republicans, I mean people that wanted to let black people vote. Not because they're not that they cared about black people, but the fact that they know that black people aren't going to vote for Democrats because Democrats enslave them. So they're going to vote Republican. They're like, there's like millions of black people in the South now. That's like a free batch of voters. We should let them vote. So that is the situation. So in 1867, the radical Republicans signed this thing called the Military Reconstruction Act. And it puts Southern troops, Union troops in Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. All right. So Southern Union troops are there. What are they there to do? They're there to make sure that black people can vote, basically. Because how these Southern states kept black people from voting is they had things like grandfather clauses. Like if your granddaddy couldn't vote, then you couldn't vote. You have to own land, right? You got to pay a poll tax, which you can't afford because you just got let out of slavery and now no one will give you a job. So what the fuck are you going to do? More than anything, if you showed up to vote at the polls and people were watching you, you might get lynched that night. So the military was there to ensure that black people could vote. And times were good for black people in the South from 1867 to 1876. During that 10-year period, for the first time in American history, we had black people elected to Congress. It had never happened before. And they were all from the South. They're all from the South. Because why? Because black people could vote. And black people made up a majority in states like Mississippi. And white Southern Confederates who had not taken a loyalty oath to the Union yet, because you got to understand, these people are fucking traitors. They are traitors. They declare war on a country. So if they weren't going to take it an oath of allegiance to America, then they can't vote. And that's what we did. We disenfranchised them. It was great. It was brilliant. So because black people could vote in the South and a lot of white Confederates couldn't, Republicans dominated there for a long time. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do because the military was running shit there. So in 1868, Ulysses S. Grant, the war hero, gets elected. 1872, he easily wins re-election. He was a horrible president, by the way. Ulysses S. Grant is one of the most corrupt and disastrous presidents in American history. Saw a major economic collapse in his second term. So when 1876 comes around, a lot of people were unemployed and not happy with the Republican Party. So they're in danger. And a lot of these southern states, the Confederates had taken their oaths, and they were ready and mobilized to put a Democrat into power. So you got two candidates. First, you got from Ohio, the president state. We've had more presidents from Ohio than any of the states. 7 American presidents have been from Ohio. Rutherford Hayes is one of them. He looks like Jack Dorsey. He had a long, ridiculous beard, and he was actually a compromise candidate. They wanted to go with this guy, James Blaine from the state of Maine, who was winning at the convention. And then there was no primaries back then, so corrupt political machines, they all picked who the candidates were. So Rutherford Hayes gets the nomination, right? Who gives a shit? Nobody ever heard of Rutherford Hayes, whatever. But he's the candidate. He's the Republican. The Democrat is the governor of New York, which, as you can see, is a northern state. And he's a Democrat, so that's a little weird. His name is Samuel Tilden. On election night, right? This is the most fucked up election in American history. 2020 doesn't have shit on 1876. On election night, here's another fast fact for you. Colorado, as you can see, Colorado right here with the 3 electoral votes. Colorado became a state in August of 1876. August of 1876. So they didn't even vote. They had just set up like a state government, and their state legislature picked who they would give the electoral votes to. Nobody voted. Nobody even lived in Colorado at the time. Nobody lived there. Oregon was another fucked up state too. Some shenanigans were going on out there. They both went to Rutherford Hayes. On election night, results in 3 states come back disputed, just like this year's, okay? And this year's, of course, the disputed states are Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin. I'm not even saying Michigan because he lost Michigan by a lot. Pennsylvania and Georgia. Those are the 5 states that are in play right now. Trump lost Wisconsin by 20,000 votes, less than 1%. He's losing Pennsylvania by about 45,000 votes. He lost Georgia by 10,000 votes. He lost Nevada by a little bit. That's barely in contention, I'd say, by I think 25,000 votes, but it's a smaller state. And Arizona is very close. Arizona is pretty much still not even called yet. So if Trump can flip Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, he wins the election. Those happen to be 2 of the 3 closest states left. So it could happen, I guess. He'd have to win. I mean, think about that. You're losing in you got to do the recounts, and then you got to win all 3 recounts, which means they fucked up 3 times. Think about the odds against that. They're pretty high. Option B is you better have significant amount of evidence that the amount that you lost by, you can explain that. You can show that X amount of dead people voted, etc. Back to 1876. On election night, disputed results come in 3 states. You'll notice in the South, everything's blue except for these 3. Louisiana with their 8 electoral votes. Florida, I mean, think how crazy this is, how much our country has changed. Florida has 4 electoral votes. Texas has 8 and California has 6. Today it's 55, 36, I think, and 29. Okay. So nobody lived in Florida back then. The big states, I mean, New York was still the biggest back then. But anyway, Louisiana, Florida, and South Carolina, all red, you see. On election night, these 3 states come back with disputed results, and there was some shenanigans afoot, let me tell you. For instance, in South Carolina, 101% of eligible voters voted in South Carolina. I'll repeat that. 101% of eligible voters in South Carolina voted on that night. Seems a little odd. I don't know how, but it happens. Okay. Also, how things worked back then. This is like a free-for-all elections back then. There was a big problem with illiterate voters, particularly newly freed black people. Okay. And Southerners in general. In order to make, they're so stupid that they would go into polls and they wouldn't know which party. They're like, I don't want to vote for a Republican. I don't want to vote for Democrat. And they go in there. They didn't know who the fuck would to vote for. Well, This is shenanigans. Let me tell you. Some of these states, I think it was Louisiana and Florida, tried pulling this. On the Democrats that ran certain counties down there, they would put pictures of Abraham Lincoln next to their candidates. I shit you not, Democrats. They would put pictures of Lincoln next to their candidates so that illiterate morons would just vote. Oh, that's Lincoln's party. I'm voting for that. Oh, man. No, I apologize. Republicans did that. That wouldn't make sense if Democrats did that. Now, would they? Republicans, there was some, basically, they would put pictures down there. I'm getting all mixed up now because my party's mixed up. But they would, and I'm trying to remember this all. I haven't taught this lesson like 6 or 7 years, but basically there was shenanigans afoot. Okay. Colorado, we mentioned what was going on there. And in Oregon, there was 3 electoral votes in dispute there. And one of the guys that ran the electoral college, like, there's these things called faithless electors. Like if you win your state, all your electoral votes are supposed to go to the candidate that your people picked. Well, in Oregon in 1876, one of the guys didn't want to do that. He didn't want to vote for Rutherford Hayes, and it turned into this huge pissing match. And eventually, this went on for over 2 months. Okay. Back then, presidents used to get inaugurated on March 4th, not January 20th. That later changed with the constitutional amendment after Herbert Hoover lost. But basically, we were in a situation where we didn't know who the fuck the president was going to be. So, huge commission gets set up to figure this out. And I think there's like 15 people on the commission. 8 of them are Republicans, 7 are Democrat. And coincidentally, the 8 Republicans decide Hayes is the winner. The 7 Democrats decide Tilden is the winner. And this could drag on. So what they decide to do is make a compromise. And this black people got a really bad situation here in 1876. They said, look, here's the deal. All 3 states in dispute, which, by the way, Tilden needs. I mean, look at this fucking map, guys. The count is 184 for Tilden, 185 for Hayes. He won by 1 electoral vote. That one in Oregon fucks it up. Colorado, like any of these states go otherwise. Hayes has to win all 3 of these. He loses one of these 3 states, he's fucked. It's President Tilden. So they make a deal. South Carolina, Florida, and Louisiana will all go to Rutherford Hayes. In exchange for that, you got to get the Union Army out of the South. You got to get them out of the South. They said deal. So basically, from 1876 to 1965, black people in these southern states could not vote, had no civil rights, where the era of Jim Crow was ushered in because no one that was there to protect them. There was no Union, American federal forces there to actually enforce the goddamn law. And you can't trust these southern states to do it themselves because your local police department is, run by a fucking redneck who might have owned slaves himself. So yeah, that's black people really got really the short end of the stick there. And in return, all they got was a guy named Rutherford B. Hayes, who only served 1 term and really was nothing special at all. It wasn't a very good president, etc. So that's 1876. Okay. Anyway, how did Maine have 7 votes? Yeah, people. I mean, think of that. Maine had double the amount of fucking population of Florida. How crazy is that? Rhode Island had the same population as Florida. That's wild. So that's 1876. Another one you got to talk about, right? 1912. This is another shady one. And this, when people always tell me, oh, we should have Turtleboy, we should have like multiple, there should be more than one party, right? There should be more than one party. No, there shouldn't. There should only be 2 parties. Okay. First of all, Donald Trump got fucked over by the libertarians. You guys know how I feel about libertarians. In like 4 of these goddamn states that are still up for like contention, still up for grabs rather. Jo Jorgensen, the libertarian candidate, she, the amount of votes that she got, if you subtracted them and gave them all to Trump, which you know that the libertarians aren't voting for Democrats, because all a libertarian is a Republican that likes to get high, then Donald Trump would have won Wisconsin. He would have won Arizona. He would have won Nevada. He would have won Georgia and Pennsylvania. All of them would be Trump voters. So they fucked us over. Anyway, this is 1912. In 1912, you had two candidates. You had three candidates for the first time. You have the incumbent president is the fattest president in American history, William Howard Taft. He got stuck in the bathtub. Not a joke. That actually happened. You have the Democrat, this racist guy from New Jersey, who is the president of Princeton, named Woodrow Wilson. Really educated guy, but a little bit racist. And then you add, all of a sudden, this guy named Teddy Roosevelt, who had already been president. He was president. Teddy Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1908. He was a Republican, and Republicans hated him. He was like Trump. He was like very much like Trump. Republicans did not, there was like insurgency, like old school Republicans did not like Teddy Roosevelt because he was too much of a loose cannon. He wanted to regulate monopolies. Ooh, no, not that. He was a war hero. He's like a little rich kid that decided to go fight the Spanish in Cuba for no reason in 1898 and become a war hero. And so he becomes president by accident because they made him vice president, and then President McKinley got shot and killed. And they said, look, that damned cowboy is president of the United States. So he serves from 1901 to 1908, and he was very popular, and he was a very good president, and he did a very good job. We can get into all that later. But then 1908, he just says, you know what? I'm like 52 years old. I'm still young. And I'm just going to go ahead and quit. I could run again, but I'm going to go hike the Amazon for a while. So Teddy Roosevelt goes, and he literally discovers like random villages in Brazil. And, you know, he was a hippie at heart. He wanted to go and explore the world, and he quit the presidency to go fucking march in the rainforest. Well, he comes back in 1912, and he's like, what the hell happened to my country, Taft? You're letting big business shit all over us again? What's going on here? So he decided he's going to run for the nomination. So he tries to get the Republican nomination. He's running for president. He doesn't get it. So he decides, I'm going to form my own party. And he calls it the Bull Moose Party. Why does he call it that? Because he's given a speech in Wisconsin one time. And while he's giving the speech, a guy comes up and shoots him in the chest. I shit you not, just shoots him in the chest. You could just do that back then. You just walk up to a presidential candidate while he's talking and shoot them. So he gets shot, and he keeps giving the goddamn speech. And he goes, my friends, I regret I've been shot, but it will take more than that to kill a bull moose. And that's why they called it the Bull Moose Party. So he runs as the progressive Republican Bull Moose Party. He just makes up a fucking party. And the problem with that is he splits the vote. The green are Teddy Roosevelt states. The red are William Howard Taft incumbent states. Together, they got almost 60% of the vote together, but they split it, and Woodrow Wilson got 41% of the vote, and he wins the Electoral College fucking easily. Like, everybody knew going into this election that he was going to win because the Republican vote was completely split. That's why you don't do the fucking third party things. That's why Teddy Roosevelt sabotaged the party. He pulled a Joe Jorgensen. Not the best way for Teddy to go out. So, anyway, yeah, Trump would totally do that, Emily said. You're absolutely right about that. Trump, he didn't deny it. Like, and that's what worries me about Trump in the future, is if he loses, my worry is that he'll try to come back in 4 years. Because make no doubt about it, if Trump gets kicked out of the White House and he comes back in 4 years, I don't think we're done with them, guys. Like, I can't imagine him not running in 2024. And then what? And what if he doesn't get the nomination? What if somebody else gets it? Then what? Do you think he's just going to go away? Would you vote for him? Emily's like, I would vote for him. But would you vote for him if he didn't get the nomination? That's my question. Because what he would effectively be doing is pulling a Shiva, right? He'd be pulling a Shiva. He'd be like, oh, I lost, but it was unfair. It's rigged. So I'm going to go and start my own party. I'm going to go over here and start the Donald Trump party, and I'm going to need you to vote for me. That would basically be handing the White House to the Democrats. We'll see. Yeah, California back then did have the congressional delegate thing. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like two of them voted for Donald Trump. I mean, not Donald Trump, for Woodrow Wilson in that scenario. Pennsylvania was the biggest state in the country back then. It's interesting to see how these evolve. Another one that's interesting, another disputed election. Pull this one down. Is 19, where'd it go? 60. Let's look at 1960. And then we'll just kind of fuck around. Okay, where'd it go? Application window. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. There it is. Okay. So can you see that? All right. So 1960 results. This was John F. Kennedy versus Richard Nixon. Now, Tricky Dick had been the vice president from 1952 to 1960. He's a Republican. Well-known figure, former governor of California, which by this point was one of the biggest states in the country by 1960, 32 electoral votes. And, he was Tricky Dick. Everybody knew Tricky Dick. This is before he was too tricky, in 1960. So he's running against a guy named John F. Kennedy, who was a first-term senator from Massachusetts, pretty boy, millionaire. Everybody knew his daddy made all his money in selling bootlegged alcohol during the Prohibition era. And, the Kennedys were easy to love and easy to hate. And the problem with John F. Kennedy is, this was his situation, is that he's a Democrat. Back then, the base of the Democratic Party was the South. And ever since Reconstruction, since Rutherford B. Hayes and Sam Tilden, they ran the South. And in order to win the presidency, John F. Kennedy had to win some northern states too. But he had to do it without pissing off the South. Now, he's a good guy. He's a decent guy, John Kennedy. He wanted black people to have civil rights. But he also knew that, this was not, if by doing so, he was going to lose Mississippi, Alabama, risk losing Georgia, all the southern states. So he made quiet kind of deals with governors, Democratic governors in his own party, because he's a Democrat, but he's from the North. And he said, if you support me, I won't push too hard on civil rights. I'll wait for it, right? I'll wait for it. I'll be calm with it. We got this Cold War thing going on. I'll focus on that, etc. And he kept them happy. Now, he also wanted to keep unions happy. And unions back then were all run by basically the mob, Jimmy Hoffa and crew. And various mobs ran various states and big cities. And the most corrupt state in the country every year is Illinois. You have half of the governors of Illinois in the last 40 years have ended up in jail somehow. And in Illinois, it's got 27 electoral votes. The final count in the 1960, I'm looking at it right now, the 1960 presidential election, this was very close. If Illinois had gone differently, then Nixon would have won in 1960. But John F. Kennedy won. And in Illinois, the vote total was 2,377,000 for John F. Kennedy and 2,368,000 for Richard Nixon. That is 9,000 votes. 9,000 votes made basically broke that election. And consequently, almost every single one of those votes for Kennedy came from Chicago. Chicago runs the state of Illinois. It's run by corrupt. It's one of the most. It's where Al Capone did everything in the 1920s. It's the most infamous corrupt city in America. Where Jussie Smollett. You want to lie about something and stay in power. Go to Chicago. So they all vote for John F. Kennedy in 1960 there. Because the mob delivers the votes. And there's a lot of disputes about dead people voting, which has happened. It's the exact same shit Trump's complaining about. The exact same shit. What happened in Illinois in 1960 is very reminiscent of what Trump is accusing of places, except he's doing it in more than one state. He's doing it in Philadelphia, Atlanta, Detroit, Milwaukee, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. He's alleging that all the shit that allegedly happened in Illinois in 1960, Trump is alleging now. And it's going to be hard to prove. The difference between Trump and Nixon is Nixon just gave it up. Nixon said you can't treat and win, it was like a sophisticated thing, right? You're supposed to go out with grace, and you're supposed to, but that's not Donald Trump. It's never been Donald Trump, and it never will be Donald Trump. And that's why people like Donald Trump. So we'll see what happens with that. The other election everybody obviously talks about is the election of 2000. You guys remember, this is the last one I'll talk about here. Most of us were alive for this. We all remember 2000 quite well, don't we? And I want to clear up an inaccuracy about this that some on the left are trying to compare this to, right? They're saying, well, dude, Turtleboy, Al Gore was declared the winner. Al Gore was never declared the winner of 2000. What are you people high? George Bush was declared the winner. I remember it very, very well that night, that George Bush was declared the winner because he won Florida. And then they did a recount. They recounted those ballots in Florida a bunch of times. And every single time they won, Bush's lead actually slightly increased. But I think the final tally was 537 votes. 530, not 5,000. 537 in a state with millions of people. It's one of the biggest states in the country back then. 25 electoral votes. And not Donald Trump, and George Bush wins it by 537 votes. So and that whole thing, the Supreme Court, all they did with a 5-4 decision a month later was order that the hand recounts stop, because they were trying to hand recount in Miami-Dade County and Broward County, which were heavy liberal counties. And basically with hand recounts, the margin for human error increases. And so that's what they were hoping for. And the Supreme Court shut it down in a 5-4 decision. And I hate to burst your bubbles, Trump people, but that the odds of that happening this time around are very small. Because again, 537 votes is a lot different than 20,000 votes in Wisconsin. Good luck with that. So all I'm saying is he's probably going to lose. Just brace for it. That's all I'm saying. And if and when it happens, don't get mad. Just get revenge. Get revenge for 2 years later. Take back the House. Get revenge in 2 months. Keep Georgia. Keep the 2 senators in Georgia Republican. Keep the Senate. They can't do shit without the Senate. And by the way, look at this map. This is a problem Republicans are going to have moving forward. I'm telling you. Every election we're going to go into, we're going to be an underdog because they outnumber us. We have a 3 million vote problem. They win by 3 million every time. It's an issue. And I'm not seeing a solution to this issue. Just look at this electoral map in 2000. Back then, Ohio and its 21 electoral votes, and Florida and its 25 electoral votes. Those are the states that swung the election every time. And Republicans won at that time, but Obama won them 8 years later. Now it's different. Florida and Ohio you can count on now. But look at the states we've lost. Look at the states we've lost. Colorado no longer has 8 electoral votes. It's about to have 11 electoral votes in the next census. That's solid blue now. They have 2 Democratic senators, a Democratic governor. They won by 10 points this time. All these liberals are moving to Aspen and Aurora and Denver. It's a horrible state. Don't go to Colorado. Done. That's blue forever. Nevada. It's another one. The entire population's in Las Vegas in this state. All blue. That's got 2. It's got a Democratic governor and 2 Democratic senators. And 3 of their 4 congressmen are also Democrats. Nevada's done. Another one, New Hampshire. We just lost by 7 points in New Hampshire. There's 2 representatives there. They're both Democrats. There's 2 senators there. They're both Democrats. The governor, John Sununu, is basically a Democrat. He's a rhino. So that's gone. So you got an issue here. Like, what if we won back? Like, what if we won back? We've lost 1, 2, and 3. And what if we won back? Oh, and by the way, we've lost Virginia. Virginia's gone for good too. Bush used to win. We used to win Virginia. So that's gone. So you got to win something back here. We got Ohio. We got Iowa. Democrats used to win Iowa. We took that back. So that's good. But you can't have Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania be toss-ups every time because you need to win them. You got to win them. Democrats, every election moving forward is theirs to lose unless something's done. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe some people need to move. I don't know. Maybe we should all move to Minnesota or like pick a fucking swing state that we can make a difference in. I don't know. But this current situation we're in right now is going to be bad for years to come. Bad. Bad. All right. So any questions you guys have, you can fire away in the comments. Who's awesome? I see awesome. Boring. But here's the thing, awesome. I saw you saying that like 20 minutes ago, and yet your bitch ass is still here. I know. It'd be a lot more fun if we were talking about like auditors or something. But which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen the ratings. Mike Gaffney has basically disappeared. It's interesting. And Kate Peters' followers are like fucking turning on her. You hate to see it. Her latest show, even all her bots, they couldn't beat us in the ratings. We got better ratings than them. And our followers, they like the product that we do because it's original and it doesn't depend on, Josh Abrams being out of jail. Like, I'm not dependent on that for content. Like, I can just come up with a show like this. I can wing it, whatever. Anyway, Germaine wants to call in. Remind me who Germaine is. Why didn't you discuss 1992 with Ross Perot? I mean, it's kind of the same thing as 1912. A third-party candidate came in and sabotaged the election for George H.W. Bush. How long are we going to have to wear masks? You don't have to wear masks ever. Just don't wear it. But probably for a long time, they're going to try to make you do it. Remind me, is he in the comments? Remind me which Germaine. Let me see. Remind me which fucking blog he was in. Did I blog about him today? I can't even keep track of these people. The police brutality victim. Oh, the guy from Providence. He's in the comments. Should we bring him on? Okay. So we can bring him on. Sure. Fuck it. I was going to save this for this weekend, but hey, if he wants to come on. If Germaine Bruce wants to come on, there's the link, buddy. Let me pull this up for you. Huh. So Germaine, for those of you unfamiliar, the bubonic plague, as we call him, this gentleman right here was arrested over the weekend in Providence for interfering. Basically, he was jumping a car at like 3 a.m. in Providence. I don't even know why he was out with the car because he's been arrested so many times for car-related offenses, mostly DUIs and driving without a license and stuff like that. And he decided to get lippy with the cops and interfere, and he just wouldn't do what they were telling him to do and just being a dick for no reason. And his ass got arrested, and he resisted arrest, and he whined about it, and now he started a GoFundMe or whatever to try to raise money to, I don't know, sue the Providence police because he wants not one lawyer but two. I was going to say this for this weekend, but if he's in the comments and he wants to come on now, I know I do have to be remembered. I can't remember the names. They go in as soon as the blog is over. I'm just on to the next one. You want me to call him on Facebook? Okay. Yeah. Let me find you on Facebook there. And while we're doing this, let me refresh the donos. I'd also like to thank people who donated here. Blarney Cated says Turtle Boy history class was great. I still want to have Brett read us bedtime stories at the end of shows he co-hosts. The New England version of Samuel L. Jackson reading Go the Fuck to Bed. That's so true. AJB says, happy 245th birthday to the United States Marine Corps. Happy birthday. 7 Pounder says, you earned this, and I'm going to get the Turtle Club app. If the Pats struggle to beat the Jets, we suck. Peace. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, 7 Pounder. Okay. So is Germaine calling in? Let me find you on Facebook then, Germaine. I mean, I put the thing there. You can just do the. Hold on. Did I send the StreamYard link? There. But I'll find you on Facebook. Hold on. Germaine Bruce. Okay. Oh, I see. He's added. Okay. So Germaine he wrote on Facebook, TurtleBoy Sports, thank you so much. I see you have 8,000 plus followers. I have a lot more than that. Hope people tap in. I knew hate would come with the support, but what made me laugh is the boo-boo and my license. I am legit. My background has nothing to do with my future. So thank you. Kind of does. So thank you so much. I hope people visit this page. Keep the good work up. Okay. So that's interesting. Okie dokie. So is he calling in or am I calling him? Okay, I'll message him. Oh, he has messaged me. Hey, man, people are telling me to hit you up because of my situation. I have things on my page. You check them out. Okay, so I'll call him. Let me just switch my camera here or my mic. To the built-in mic. Okay. So let's take a call from him, shall we? Can you guys hear that?
Hello?
Hello, Germaine?
Yes.
Yes, how are you, sir?
One second. How do I go to I was watching it too.
How do you go to what?
Like I can watch it like on the phone and talk or not?
That would be difficult, I think.
My fault. I don't this is my first time being on like a YouTube thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're live right now, by the way.
All right.
Okay. So we are here to talk about your situation. You were arrested. Should we play the video?
That's up to you. Once again I can't see anything. So.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna play it real quick so people understand what happened here, so they can see.
Okay, can I delete it and then you call back in or no?
Can you delete what?
What is it?
Huh?
I said, can you call back while I watch it with you and see what they're saying?
Sure.
All
right, cool.
All
right.
Whenever it's over.
Okay. All right. So this is him basically.
Why are you taking a call?
You don't say nothing. Bro. He's a whole corn. Bro,
He's a whole corn. He's a whole corn.
Don't say nothing. I got that shit on camera too. What the fuck you think you are?
Don't say nothing.
Fucking above the law? Nigga think that they can do shit. Guess what? They park just like this. That shit don't get told. Do you, bitch? No. Y'all park just like this. And what, motherfucker? You guys think you're fucking above something? Because you fucking wear a badge?
Yeah, my order tone a minute ago. You didn't confirm if it was something.
So look how they're parking. Honestly, there's like 4 feet from the curb.
That's why.
You know the crazy, like, I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah, are you there? Oh,
Okay.
It's
I'm
on
not
the
trying to
video.
be a dick.
Back up and get on the sidewalk.
Back up, Jermaine, before he
No.
fucking shoots you.
No, it's honestly, if I'm
Back up again. I'm gonna tell you one more time.
Bro, just bro.
you can't arrest me. You can't arrest me. You can't arrest me. You can't arrest me. I did nothing. Yo, I did nothing. What the fuck? Come here. I did nothing to you, nigga. I did nothing to you. I did nothing to you. I did
There he is. There. Pavement selfie. That's great. Okay, so let's bring him back on because he said he wanted to come on here. Main. Let's see what he says about this. Hello.
Oh, 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
what is it that you guys want out of this or trying to get out of this besides like discrimination or like something.
Page views mostly, but
As what?
page views mostly.
Oh, that's cool. I'm trying to get them views too, man. So
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is a slow day. You have to understand that. And your story was the most interesting thing I found, which is sad.
Listen, if you're willing to help, I'm willing to help too.
How do you think you were helped in this? How do you think you were helped?
What do you mean help by? What do you mean by help?
You seem to think that this was a good. You think that becoming Turtle Boy famous is a good thing.
Listen, as people are watching it, right? People are seeing it on your blog.
Yeah, but people see revenge porn too. That doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Oh, listen, whatever you feel is how you guys gonna feel. When good things or bad things happen, people always gonna have a different side or a different opinion about shit. And I'm not mad about how you feel or how about your comments are feeling or the people that's trying to antagonize certain things. I'm like,
so
nobody really
how are you
cares.
Discriminated against?
What do you mean, like right now or
wherever? You just said discrimination. How is this discrimination?
Let me rephrase my words. Trying to attack. Let me rephrase my words. You're trying to say more than what you guys, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to get into that shit. You guys are just doing way more than what is expected.
How is that discriminatory?
You're not discriminating at all. You're speaking your opinion. You're doing what you have to do.
So you use the word that you're not familiar with the meaning of.
Yep. I'm not.
So you take that back.
Yes, I take that back.
Okay.
I'm rephrasing my words.
Okay.
Discrimination is defining when somebody's looking at you different or calling you out your name or calling you out the book. Like, I know what it means. I'm not slow. I went to school, like.
So you tell me your side of the story here.
So my side of the story is I tried to help. You can clearly see I tried to help my friend that called me to go jump the car. I helped to go jump the car. The cop rides by. He drives by, does nothing. He drives by again. I sat there and said to him, if you're not going to help us, why are you here?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because he is standing around.
Who cares? He's a cop.
Okay,
who cares?
He is standing around. All right. Once again, I don't care. I went back to what I was doing.
But no, but you just said it. You intentionally provoke shit with the cops. Like you said something to them when they weren't.
Okay, look. He pulled over to my car, the car that needs to be towed.
Okay.
Right? Just to stop. Then he comes back around again. He parks behind my actual car, the car that you guys claim I don't have or whatever.
Well, let's talk. Can we talk about that for a moment? Look at your freaking criminal history, dude. You've been arrested a billion times for driving without a license and DUI multiple times.
So that has nothing to do with my future.
It does, though. It does.
Once again, it really don't, because I have my license. I am legit.
How do you have your license if you've been driving with a suspended license and arrested for that not too long ago?
First of all, what do you mean not too long ago?
Like
I got pulled over in 2018?
Yeah, that's 2 years ago, dude. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I have my license now.
So let's go over your criminal history. So
we can go.
So 2015.
Yes.
Driving with a suspended license.
Yes.
Why was your license suspended?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, good start.
It was nothing serious.
Okay. Oh, nothing serious, right? Yeah, happens.
No, it really wasn't. It
right.
was like registration, something like that.
Yeah. The thing about registrations is you have to get them. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then 2016, you got DUI, first offense.
Yes.
Why were you driving drunk?
What do you mean? I was driving drunk. Like, it's a mistake that happened.
Oh yeah, it happens. Yeah.
First time happened. You act like I'm the first person that ever had a DUI.
You're not, but so that was on April 23rd, 2016. You got DUI, and then 7 months later, on November 3rd, you got another DUI.
That one, I didn't have enough money to have a lawyer. That one was not even. I should have never been a DUI.
You don't have enough money for a lawyer. You don't need are you familiar with Miranda versus Arizona? You don't need.
Yeah, I know. But I needed a lawyer because I refused the breathalyzer. That's the only reason why I got the DUI.
You get a free lawyer if you can't afford one in this country.
No. Well, what, you live in Rhode Island?
I live in Massachusetts.
Do you know the public defenders?
I don't.
They suck. If you are from Rhode Island and you have a public defender, you are basically going to have to take a no-low deal. Like, you have no choice.
Or
I can get the money and get a lawyer, and that's it.
Or third option, don't break the law.
True. That should have been the first option.
Yeah.
That's
work.
Not the third option. That's the first option.
Yes.
But once again, I was not even drinking.
Okay.
I just refused it.
So if you were drunk, why would you refuse the breathalyzer?
Because once again, I should have never got pulled over that day.
Why not?
But because I didn't do nothing wrong. If you knew the story, like I got all my police reports, everything, you would understand why.
I wouldn't be so sure of that. No,
it's okay, man. I'm
okay.
not looking for your insurance.
Okay, so here's the thing. So this is April 16th, 2018 in Cranston now. Driving with the suspended license, third offense.
2018.
Yeah.
With suspended license.
Yeah.
I got my license back in 2018, so I don't see how I got it suspended or how it was suspended. My license is still good.
Says right here, driving with suspended or revoked canceled license. The offense date was February 2nd, 2018. And yeah, you had.
I can't recall that one, honestly.
Okay.
I don't even.
So then we go later on in 2018. This is April 14th, 2018. You get pulled over by the Central Falls Police Bureau. You're going all around the state. Driving with a suspended license, third offense. What's up with that?
I had a license. I don't know why it's saying suspended license when I had a license since 2018.
Must be a mistake. Okay. And then also
I don't know.
Earlier in 2020, you were in January of 2020, you were also arrested by the Providence police for disorderly conduct.
Disorderly conduct because something else happened.
Oh yeah, just it happened. What happened?
Yeah. Well, I can't describe that because it was crazy. Like that one was crazy. I am not taking away from that one. I would not take away from that one. Yes, I did what I did that day. Okay. And that was disorderly conduct.
Okay, so you have a past history of arguing with law enforcement, right?
What? No.
Being disorderly.
The disorderly conduct I got because I didn't want to leave my house.
Okay.
So that's why I got that.
Why didn't you want to leave your house?
Because why do I need to leave my house?
Why did you have to leave your house? Why were they making you leave your house?
Because someone called the cops on me.
Why?
Why does that matter? Like, once again, why does this matter? What we're supposed to be talking about is the case now, but it's like you're going way back, way
Well,
back.
what you were arrested for the other day was the same thing you were arrested for in January of this year in the same city.
Yeah, disorderly conduct because I was talking. Like, they wanted me out of my house, which was no...
Why did they... Who called the cops on you?
Because I was arguing.
With who?
With friends.
You were arguing with friends, and one of them called the cops on you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you understand the past matters, right?
Yes. It does. But now, like, when I change my life around and I go, once again...
Change your life around? This is 7 months ago.
7 months ago. Yes, it was 7 months ago. When was that? 2018.
I apologize.
When was my next one? When was my other one? 2016. I haven't got...
This is January of 2020, dude.
Yes, the misconduct one, yes, is from January 2020. And that's a misdemeanor.
Oh, so it's okay, that's good. So you're done with...
It's not right. No.
You're done with felonies. That's good. Okay.
No. Once again, I don't have one felony.
That's good. Good job. Now we're getting somewhere. It's progress. Okay. So
I have no felonies.
Well, there you go. Good job.
That's great.
That's great. I'm very proud of you. You're not supposed to have felonies, you know.
Exactly. But once again, nobody has a perfect record.
I think
people wait. Let me rephrase that.
I do.
Some people do have perfect records,
Yes.
but not a lot of people where I come from do. I do not know one person that has a clean record.
Maybe you should get better friends.
I should, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Once again, that's who I surround myself with, and that's the environment that I am.
Did you vote?
Why does that matter?
I'm just curious. Did you vote?
Yes.
Oh, who'd you vote for?
Myself. I voted for Kanye West.
You didn't vote for Joe Biden?
No.
Okay, well that's good.
I didn't vote for Trump either, though.
I mean, I would prefer you didn't vote at all, quite frankly.
Exactly.
Good. Okay, so what's up? So what do you? I'm confused why you're coming on here. You haven't really like made a case.
Well, a case. You went from my past to like. I don't see what you guys are trying to stand for, honestly.
Well, basically, we expose people who are often raising money over bullshit causes. Like you're raising money for 2 lawyers to sue the Providence police. Spoiler alert: you're not going to sue anybody. You know that, right?
That's my goal, though.
But you're not going to. Just telling you, you haven't raised close to enough money for that, and you never will.
First of all, how do you know what's in my bank account?
I'm talking about what you've raised. You've raised over $800, right?
I'm at damn near $1,200 right now.
Okay, so you raised $1,200 for a lawsuit that you're never going to have.
Okay.
Right.
Once again, that has no concern of you or the people that ain't trying to hear it.
Well, you're kind of defrauding people, though. You're defrauding people who are donating to you.
How am I defrauding people?
Because you're not going to sue anybody. You're telling them that you're going.
Why wouldn't I? Why?
Because you haven't raised close to enough money yet.
Okay, but my PR intentions is to.
Yeah, but the intentions are great. That means nothing. You got 10 grand on you because that's what it's going to cost to sue.
Okay, well, I will get there. I will take my steps to get there.
And when you do sue,
I'm not going to say it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not going to say it's going to happen a week from now.
Yeah. But here's the other thing. You're also going to lose. You know that, right? Like you have no shot at winning anything.
Listen, don't try to take my hope or any, like, there's no reason.
Oh, I'm just letting you know right now, with your past, you have no shot at winning a lawsuit because your past does matter. The city has attorneys too. They're going to bring this all up.
It's okay. I'm not mad. Okay. That's why I get a great lawyer to see how I go about it.
A great lawyer with $1,200.
Listen, nobody has just $1,200. That's what people donated me.
Oh, so you have other money?
Yes.
So why are you raising money?
To have more money, so I can. You don't think I'm gonna walk into this without more money? You don't think, like, do you sound the way that, like, do you hear how you sounding? Like,
yes, I do.
I don't think you do, because why would I?
You're right. I'm the stupid one here.
No, you're smart. I ain't saying you're stupid. That never came out of my mind. But you should, like, I wouldn't walk in to a situation not knowing how much money I need. You know?
Yeah, so I know.
Why would I, like?
But you're not. Your dreams are gonna be crushed. Like in your.
Well, listen. I'm a big dreamer. I have to keep all hope. That's what I do. I'm not gonna let people undermine me or tell me otherwise.
Have you considered moving forward, just like not getting into it with the cops, like maybe?
Listen, first of all, this right here, what you guys you're saying is fraud, wasn't my fault.
Why?
How was it?
Because you're raising money for a lawsuit that's never going to happen.
Okay, what you see? Okay, so that's all you're taking out of the whole concept and the whole everything.
I took more out of it too. I also thought that you deserved to be arrested.
Arrested for what?
Clearly, obviously, there's part of that. Whatever came before that, you did not show, and clearly, you have been given several warnings to just back away, and you refused to.
No, and you see, if you watch the video clearly, you see one of the witnesses grab me, put me back on the sidewalk, and we took a couple steps, and then I turn around, and the cop come to me. And you see me slowly backing away. There's no.
It was too late at that point. At that point, you were under arrest.
Listen. He said it himself. He said, "I'm gonna give you one more warning."
Yeah, and then you walked towards them.
how would I turn towards him if I turned around and started recording him coming to me?
Huh? Anyway, I saw the video. They tell you to stop, and then you don't stop. And so they're like, you're under arrest, and then you start backing away. But at that point, it was too late.
Well, he did not. When I stepped off the curb, you would clearly hear, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I put my finger out. He said, get on the curb, get back on the curb. He said it twice. Mind you, he said it twice.
Okay.
He said, I'm not going to give you one more warning. I get grabbed to get on the sidewalk. You see that. You can clearly see that. My friend not even my friend, I don't even know the motherfucker. He grabs me onto the sidewalk and we take a couple steps. I turn around and start recording. And the guy said, you're getting arrested.
Okay.
For what? For what? What am I getting arrested for?
I don't, would you like me to, you were arrested for, you were arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest.
Well, that's not what it says on our police report. So once again,
it is though. It is.
No, on the police report?
Yeah. I pulled it up.
I have it right here.
I bet you do. Is it framed?
I do.
Is it laminated? No. Okay.
I'm about to. I should. I'm gonna make copies. Put my face on the back because I look good. Basic stuff. And I'll maybe frame it, put it in my other collections of.
What's up with? Can I ask what is up with the pubes? What's up with the hair on the face?
I don't know, man. What's up with your carrot top? What's up with the way you dress? What's up with what's up with that?
What's up with that? I don't know. I don't have a pube farm growing on my face. I mean, why not trim it a little bit?
Listen, it's okay. I'm not. I don't. That's your opinion.
I'm wondering what's up with that. Why?
Listen, your intentions is to talk shit, and I'm feeding into it.
A little bit.
I really don't care.
I mean, I'm just busting your balls, but
No, it's okay. Listen, it's okay. I'm not. Again, I'm not mad. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna tell you the completely whole story of everything. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't need to hear it. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you all that.
Doesn't it collect dirt really fast? I always wondered about that. When I go 3 days without shaving, I feel gross. I feel like it's I really need a good.
No, I don't. That's like asking if a person has a long beard. Do you get dandruff?
Yeah, but yours especially, it just seems like the follicles, it just seems like they just are receptors for dirt. No,
I know, man. It's just I got a half a beard. Let me grow, man. Can I hit puberty?
Yeah, you'll get there someday. You'll get there someday.
I know, maybe when I turn 27, I might hit that stage,
okay.
In my life.
Okay. All right. Well, I gotta get going. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Honestly, thank you for inviting me. It was fun.
Yes, it was. Good times. Stay out of trouble.
No problem.
Bye.
You too, man.
All right. Well, that was different. That was definitely different. Okay. Not what I was expecting. But yeah, he didn't argue. It's he did just, said that all these other arrests nothing was ever his fault. There's definitely a theme there, but that was interesting. Wonder what Brett would have said. That would have been even more interesting. All right. All right. If anybody has any more questions, I'll give you a minute to. I'll call Janelle on the weekend. Maybe she'll give me more of a fight. We'll see what happens. Anonymous threw me a dono and says, in honor of the educators who aren't living in fear and who want our students to be back in school, but are also frustrated by the total lack of respect and support our profession receives. There are so many challenges in education that the pandemic has exacerbated and brought to light. But we want the public to realize schools have been trying to manage these societal issues for years. Very true. Very true. P.S. Yesterday I was working with a student who refused to put on a mask and he spit in my face. That's not good. Only to rejoin his class half an hour later. Ugh, that's assault. I'd call the cops. I challenge anyone calling teachers lazy and selfish right now to start their week with an eye flush in the nurse's office. I mean, I believe you. Because I was a teacher. I feel your pain. If a kid's spitting at you, especially during COVID and shit, you need to go, and if you don't get satisfaction from your principal, you go to the police. That's assault. Just because the kid does it in a classroom doesn't mean it's not a crime. But thank you for being one of the good ones. Thank you. Okie dokie. Any more questions that you guys have? If not, we'll call it a night. I never realized how long ago 2018 was. So true. So true. Yeah, I can't get a good read on Jermaine. I don't know what his fucking deal. He sounds chill, right? He sounds like, yeah, whatever. I got no problem. Like but yet he's always getting arrested. It was bizarre. It was bizarre. I gotta be honest with you. I can't get a good read on that guy. I can't get. We'll see. Give it a time. Favorite presidential election? 2016, man. That was the fucking best. Should I start an OnlyFans account? Yeah, that'd be fun. Why was the show on Sunday last week? Notre Dame football, my man. Notre Dame football was on Saturday night. Any update on Gaffney? I don't. Maybe it looks like you're talking to Bruins gal, so I'm not sure. Okay, if nobody has any more questions, I guess we'll call it a night. And we will see you guys all on Thursday for the next episode of the live show. Peace, Turtle Riders.